Real Cowboys fans stand up. So, yo, it is Monday night. And y'all know what Monday night means. Anytime it's Monday night, that is our show that we're going to come on here, talk Dallas Cowboys football. We're going to talk some NFL draft, but also it gives you the opportunity to jump on the show with me. So I got the link posted up above. Download the JAANN app. You can come on the show. We're going to sit back and talk some football, man. I got a lot of great guests. Somebody jumping in, jumping out. But Monday nights is just real casual. Gives you guys an opportunity to jump on the show with me. Makes it real smooth. We had a good time last Monday, and we are going to keep it up, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. I see Joe. I see Swain. I see my guy Says. I see everyone in the building. My guy Willie in the building, man. So like I said, today's show is brought to you by the JAANN app. I have the link pinned up below, or sorry, up above, up top, up there, right? Go ahead, click on that link to jump on the show with me. Got a few guys and girls jumping on here in a minute, so we're just gonna talk some football, but I want to get into it, man, because at first, I was gonna come over here and talk some draft talk. That's what I kind of had planned for today, right? But we all know Jerry Jones, our owner, every time there's a camera around, he has to open his mouth, right? And Jerry was talking, Steven wasn't talking, as much, but there's some interesting nuggets that we definitely got to consider. Now, here's what I'll say, Cowboys Nation. Anytime Jerry speaks, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to take it with a grain of salt. Don't buy too much into it, but it could give you some insight of what the Dallas Cowboys thought process is. And the one thing that really caught my ear perked up. They were talking about the offensive line, and Jerry was like, yeah, I'm excited about the offensive line, and my young Tyler Smith playing left tackle, and then, you're going to have Tyron coming back healthy to play right tackle to give us some help, and then you got Terrence Steele to be able to play a little swing tackle. And I was like, whoa.
He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it.
I was like, whoa, Jerry, what did you say? Did you just say Terrence Steele as the swing tackle? Now, listen, y'all. Listen, Linda. Listen, right? We all know that at first, Terrence Steele kind of got out to a rocky start. That very first season when it comes to Terrence Steele, I wasn't a fan. But last year, Terrence Steele played outstanding at the right tackle position where I don't think he is going to be the swing tackle. If anyone's going to be the swing tackle, it should be Tyron Smith. But, Jerry's being Jerry. He had to open his mouth. Like I said, anytime there's cameras around, he had to speak. But I got a guy who joined in, man, my brother, man, from Canada. Sid, what's going on with you, bro?
Yo, what up, JTuck, man? Can you hear me, man? I just want to make sure we're good.
Yeah, you good, man. So
yeah.
So last Monday, right? You were chiming in, getting ready to ref, man. You know what I'm saying? How many calls did you blow last Monday?
None, actually, none. But you know what? It's funny because I was reffing females, and female flag football players are more aggressive than the guys, man. So it's funny, man, because some of these girls, they go out there and tackle. I'm like, well, here's a penalty. I'm like, it's not tackle, it's flag football, So some of these girls are bigger than me, man.
yeah. No, you've been in the gym, man. I definitely see you in the gym, man. So my guy said, as you guys see, how easy. Tell everybody how easy was it to jump on the show? Because so for those of you who do not know, we're gonna tell them a little story time, right? Because we're casual kicking on a Monday, right? Sid was the very first YouTuber that kind of offered me to be on the show outside of Skywalker Steel. I remember I had 2 subscribers to this channel. It was pretty much my children upstairs. And we got a comment. And this guy was like, hey, man, I like your content. I want you to be on my show. And I was like, someone wants me to be on the show. Like, I was so excited. That's my guy Sid. But me and Sid have been rocking. This is our 4th year. We're in year 4, man. We're old now, Sid.
Yeah, man.
You remember we used to do these shows, man? We used to jump on like an hour before to make sure everything is properly set up and, what I'm saying, get everything lined up. But tell everybody how easy and simple it was to jump on the JAANN app and just hop on the show with JTuck now.
Guys, man, all you got to do is click that link. Asks you to set up your phone number, a few questions, and you're in this channel, man, doing this thing with my guy JTuck. That's simple. Let's get it on, man. I'm ready. Listen, we go all night. I remember those 2-3 hour shows we used to have, man. Let's get it.
Those 4-hour shows, so it's very simple, man, because, before the JAANN app, man, we wasn't doing no shows like this.
Remember all the graphic designing we used to have to do before?
Yeah, bro. We have a 7 o'clock show. Like, yo, can you jump on at 6 real quick to make sure all this works, man? But look how far we come, man. But so Sid, we were talking about Jerry Jones and the offensive line, and he kind of mentioned that Tyler Smith is going to possibly play left tackle, Tyron Smith play right tackle, and Terrence Steele be kind of your backup, quote unquote, swing. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
No, I don't see Terrence Steele being a swing. I don't understand. Like some of the stuff that Jerry Jones comes out with, I'm just like, what? Did I miss something? And I have to go online to see like, where is this like BS? Because you know how social media likes to blow things up.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I can't believe Jerry Jones is saying that.
Yeah.
So and again, I saw something else today. Also, quickly off topic, that if Zeke doesn't get picked up, he might actually pick him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So
So
let's get into that, right? Because the 21 Savage Ezekiel Elliott, he hasn't been picked up as of yet. Now, I will say this: I just peeked in Twitter just a second ago, and I saw some Eagles content creators who are like, "We got some groundbreaking news coming up," and they
news,
tagged the
yep.
Cowboys in it. I don't know. So could Zeke be possibly signing with the Eagles? I don't know, y'all. And here's
Listen,
why. Go ahead, Sid. What's your
I'm
thoughts
gonna
on that?
cut you off. The only reason why I see that happening is so that he can stay in our conference and he gets to play us twice.
But see, I just don't think there's any animosity when it
No,
comes to the Cowboys. This isn't a Des Bryant situation, and Jerry Jones and also Stephen Jones came out and spoke on it. They say, the reason why we didn't ask Zeke to take a pay cut because we appreciate what Zeke has done for us, and you gotta be delicate, and you don't want to disrespect it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I don't think this was kind of a situation where the Cowboys and Zeke were butting heads, and he wants to kind of show and prove the Cowboys wrong. So here's my standpoint. Now I could be wrong, so don't run on the internet and be like, "Oh, well, Tuck said this," right? That's how
JTuck.
people like to do me, right? But I feel like Zeke wants to build his primary residence in Dallas, like post,
Yeah,
football career, right? He's building his home. He has his girlfriend who actually works in Dallas as well. I think she's like a doctor or something. Salute to you, Zeke. I mean, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? You do your thing, Zeke.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
he wants to kind of build his future in Dallas. And the one thing that you could do to disrupt everything you done is if you go put on that Kelly Green jersey, it's all out the window. You know what I'm saying? Because like now, if Zeke was to retire, let's say he retires, right? If he lives in Dallas moving forward, he's a legend. He can do whatever he wants. But if he goes on and puts on that Eagles jersey,
We got issues.
yeah,
We
it's just
got
not going to be the
issues.
same. It's just not going to be the same. So, do you want to risk that with the fan base? Because y'all know how we are, especially with that Kelly Green. Ask DeMarco Murray. How many DeMarco Murray jerseys do y'all still see at AT&T Stadium?
None,
You know, not too many. You know what I'm saying? You
none.
once you went and put on that Philadelphia Eagles jersey, and I remember that Thanksgiving game. When we played against the Eagles and DeMarco Murray scored that winning touchdown.
Boo.
I was right there in the end zone. He threw the ball damn near at me. I wanted to reach over and just like grab him, Sid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, what are you doing, you damn
What are
traitor?
you
So
doing?
I would be shocked, man. I would be shocked if Zeke goes to the Eagles. But hey, sometimes you just never know. Salute. We got Willie Tina building. My guy Mike Tag, man. Salute to my guy Mike Tag. Listen, y'all. If you don't know who Mike Tag is, one, like what kind of Cowboys fan are you? Right. A guy Mike Tag brings the hype every Sunday. But go follow my guy Mike on the Cowboys Cave. He's been having great, incredible interviews. He has Barry Switzer. We had some Miami. He does some Miami Hurricanes talk. You guys can skip past that, right? But he's been doing a lot of incredible interviews, man. So definitely follow Mike Tack. And also, salute to my Pick Six family, man. They just had an interview a second ago with Izzy McQuamu. Great interview. So salute to Nix and Spoonie and
Yeah, I saw
Professor
that.
O and Marielle. That's my family. Did an incredible interview. Great job. Y'all, he's a guy you can definitely root for. I became a fan after hearing that interview. The things he was saying, he just has his head on the right shoulders, and he's going to be a football player for the Dallas Cowboys. But let me ask you this, Sid. Zeke says, you know what? I want to come back. Are you welcoming Zeke back, or are you trying to move forward and get younger at the running back position?
It's funny. It's funny you're saying that because I was watching a film on. Excuse me if I'm going to mash up his name, Bijan Robinson,
Yep. Bijan.
and yeah, Bijan Robinson. And let me tell you, I like a young, quick, knows how to read the holes,
Mm-hmm.
agile, powerful. I'm just like, and then you got Zeke who's put in all that work with Dallas.
Yeah.
who got us to listen. Zeke did big things in Dallas. I might
Incredible.
have destroyed him on my first show last week when he was gone. I was like, peace out, move on. But I will say that he did big things for Dallas, and I
Mhm.
definitely. I'm kind of torn. My heart's still with Zeke. He has a great friendship. He's a good mentor in the locker room.
Mhm.
Good relationship with Dak and so on. But I hate to say it, but it's time to move on, and we got to think about the future, and we gotta move on, man.
Mike, my man, what's going on with you, bro? Can you hear us? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good, man. Good, man. Getting the evening stroll.
Man, I just saw my name is mashed up, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
outside cooking,
Yeah.
cooking dinner outside, man.
Okay, man. So you must got some nice weather, man. I thought I was gonna have some grilling weather here in Kansas City. I stepped out this past weekend. It was like, nah, not yet, not yet. I gotta hold off. So let me
can
ask
I
you this, my
not
guy.
apply?
The conversation about Ezekiel Elliott. Would you want Ezekiel Elliott back on the roster if he was going to, let's say he's going to take $3 million? Would you want Zeke back on this roster, or are you wanting to move on and get younger in the draft and get a running back from there?
It's kind of torn, because you got your favorites, and I know you want to try to move on and try to get younger and everything else. But
Mhm.
I I do think Zeke does have more in the tank. I
Mhm.
think it was just more of him getting injured,
Mhm.
of way our scheme, the way Kellen Moore was using him in a
Mhm.
way. That's just my opinion
Yeah.
on that. But I would love to have him. I just
Mhm.
don't think Jerry would try to. I do love me some Bijan, or my pet cat is Tay.
I was like, you just jumped off. So yeah, man. So it sounds like Jerry Jones is keeping the door open. He said, "Hey, Zeke is always welcomed in Dallas." So you just never know. Now, will I think it happened, y'all? Honestly, no. But I wouldn't mind it if Zeke's going to take a pay cut just to stay in Dallas, because I just posted a video. I think it was yesterday, right, of Zeke's touchdowns. Man, he had 15 touchdowns. Over 800 yards. So Zeke can still do a lot of things, man. So you definitely have to consider that when you're looking about Ezekiel Elliott. So, honestly, if Zeke wanted to come back and kind of take a pay cut and, help us out, I would welcome it. I feel like Zeke will still give us just as much as Ro Jones, and he's familiar with Dallas, and he has that ties to Dak Prescott. Now, speaking of Dak Prescott, Sid, they had the conversation, and Stephen Jones was very buttoned up when it came to the conversation about the Dak Prescott extension. Now, we know there's been some circulations, right? My guy Katie Drummond wrote an article about it. You had Mike Fisher kind of speak about it. So about the contract extension for Dak Prescott and what ultimately it could be, where, like I said this morning, y'all, it's going to start at 50 million. Like that's just the starting price. So what do you think, when it comes to the Dak Prescott contract, Sid? Do you think it gets done? Would you do it? Or do you think the Cowboys are possibly going to consider, because we're going to transition over to draft talk in a second, consider taking a quarterback either, I wouldn't say day one, but day two of the draft?
Sorry
Listen,
about that internet mess up.
You're good, man. You're good, man. See, this is what makes the Jan app special, because you can jump on and jump off. Before that, if you jumped off, man, you're not getting back in.
listen. As for the Dak Prescott contract, I believe he's a future of the Dallas Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
He's done too much, not just for the Dallas Cowboys themselves as a team, but outside the community, right? I
Mhm.
think. Listen, let's be honest. If they end up getting rid of Dak in some kind of, or go draft somebody else and get rid of him, Jerry Jones is going to take a lot of flack,
Mhm.
right? And I don't think he's ready for that. I believe in Dak. I think that he's a good QB. He's a
Mhm.
team leader. Yeah, he had a rough year last year, but no
Mhm.
QB. I hate, like, and we've had this discussion before, Jay. I
Right, right.
hate the minute Dak messes up, everybody's throwing his ass under the bus. When he
Ah,
has a
see, I told you.
Yeah, exactly. He's garbage. Get rid of him. He's not the Dallas. He's not the future. He'll never get you to that Super Bowl. He's not. But if he has a good game, everybody's silent.
Yeah.
And and that's just QBs across the board. I
Mhm.
mean, the only person I have to give my hats off to, and I hate him, and I'm glad he's retired, Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. you know. But look how many
And,
years he's been.
and who retired him? By the way, sir?
Let's go.
Yeah,
These guys right here.
yeah.
Yeah,
I seen it with my own eyes, man. You know,
yeah,
Dak
yeah.
Prescott
That
retiring
was
to Brady.
Jay. Please. I didn't see your show and I should please talk about that. How was it being at that game, man?
Let me see here, man. Honestly, like I'll say this, man. One, Tampa is a beautiful place to be at, man.
Okay, okay.
But for you guys who want to know what it was like, this is what it was like, man. It was pure pandemonium for us Cowboys fans. If you guys can see that, man, we were jumping on tables.
Oh
We were
shit.
we were going crazy, man. It was just a beautiful time out there in Tampa, man. We were going
The security didn't grab any of you guys and
absolutely not, man, because there was so many of us out there, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But here's the thing. So a lot of people say, you know, Dak can't win the big games. Well, going into that game, people were saying we never beat Tom Brady. We haven't won a playoff game on the road since the 90s. We can't win on grass. Y'all remember
Yep.
the whole we can't win on grass? So to
Yep.
me, that sounds like a pretty big game. You know, if you guys would
Yeah.
agree. So I just feel like what you need from Dak Prescott ultimately is to show consistency. Win a big game, then win
Yeah.
another big game, then win another
Yeah.
big game, and then ultimately win another big game. But you always want to kind of see steps of improvement.
Consistent. Yeah.
That's the one thing I like the most about Mike McCarthy thus far. Us as Cowboys fans, we're finally seeing consistency. We went 12-5, lost in the wild card round versus the 49ers. We're not sitting here waiting 2 to 3 years to get back to the playoffs for another opportunity. We went right back, won a wild card game, got to the divisional round. So let's stack off that. So hopefully that's going to be the trend. But Mike, let me ask you, my guy, when it comes to Dak Prescott, do you think the Dallas Cowboys get it done this year, next year, or would they consider possibly moving on?
You talking about trying to get a QB, or are you trying extending
Yeah.
his contract?
Yeah, extending Dak Prescott because, like I said this morning's video, you know, if you believe, this is what I'm saying for Jerry and Steven's standpoint, if you believe, you know what, maybe we don't know if Dak is that guy for the Cowboys, then by all means, you really need to get a quarterback in waiting right now and kind of get him started. Because if you don't, you have to either move on from Dak because you can't franchise tag him when he has a no trade clause. And so you're looking at $59 million possibly against the cap next year. And so if there's no negotiations, you can't make it work, it could get ugly, you know? And I
Yep.
hate thinking about the season after next season, right? But it's just something kind of, you know, with draft talk looming that you have to consider. Like if you're sitting there and there's a Hendon Hooker sitting there in the second or third round, you might got to grab it just in case of an insurance policy. But what's your thoughts on that?
To me, I think it will make more sense to extend his contract, because then you thin out his pay,
Mm-hmm.
just in case if he doesn't pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would try to get it, because this year I don't think the quarterbacks is all that great,
Mm-hmm.
per se. Because to me, I think they're a little iffy, because it's like what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of some of them in the past, I'm like, I know, they are legit, good to start right off the start. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
think this year they have. I would say maybe next year, I would think about trying to pick up a quarterback if he's not trying to get it done.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, but hopefully they get Dak done because if Dak's contract, and I was saying, hell, if it was me, if I had my GM hat, you know, I'm Jerry Jones, JTuck stands for Jerry, right? I'm trying to extend Dak this year because, like you said, Mike, you thin out that money and you can really go play in free agency. Now,
Yep.
free agency is pretty much over for the most part, but you could really get creative if you were to thin out Dak's money and spread that over the next 2 to 3 years. But more than likely, I think from the Katie Drummond article, they're talking about maybe 4 years, 50 mil a year. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that when it comes to Dak's contract, but the Cowboys need to be once again proactive versus reactive because that's what happened. That's why we're in this whole entire situation. This is why we've seen Carson Wentz has been on how many damn teams Wentz has been on? 4 teams, 4 or 5
Yes.
damn teams. I don't even know
And
if
he was
is
and
he
he
even in the league
was
right now?
yeah.
Is Wentz on the roster right now?
No, I don't think any picked him up yet.
Yeah, so he's not even on a roster right now. But the
Nope.
reason why that could happen because the Eagles jumped on and got that contract done early. The same thing with Jared Goff. They had a 5-year contract, 5-year deal. Dak only had 4. The Cowboys kind of waited, sit on their hands, franchise tagged, and now we're in the situation. But I believe in Dak Prescott. I know that's the hot topic, but you can't say Dak Prescott's a good quarterback or people are going to get so upset. But I feel like I can't name 9 and 10 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott. Get the deal
No,
done.
no.
Yeah, get the deal done. He's going to be our guy. So let's
Yeah.
go to the
With
chat.
that, with that, I just want to say one quick thing.
Go ahead.
Hats off, man, and applause to the front office this year because I think this is the first year that I've actually seen them move stuff around, do the right things when it comes to contracts, extend people, like opening up, freeing up some cap space. And I think that next year we can go into it and get it. If we don't get it done this year, I think we're going to get it done next year because, like I said, hats off to the front office, man. They've done great things this year. And this is first year. We complained about this for the last couple of years, Jay, that they weren't doing the right moves. And they weren't,
Right.
this year they actually did the right things and have signing the right people, extending the right people, and freeing up some money.
Caught me off guard, man. It caught me off guard, but I
Bro,
definitely have no complaints. And Jerry
To me,
Jones
I say
also,
it's within 30 years.
yeah.
To me, anyway.
I was like, hey, man, I guess I'll shut up a little bit. But my guy Willie
Yeah.
T said now is the best time to extend Dak before Herbert, before Lamar, and before Joe get their new contract because yeah, exactly. Yesterday's price is not today's price. The longer
yeah.
you wait, the higher that amount. And let's say, for instance, Joe Burrow goes for 55 or 57. Well, hey, you know what? Todd Friend's gonna say, you know what? I said 50 last week. I think I
Yeah.
changed my mind. We're going for 57. So that's why you got to be proactive and the Cowboys not make that same mistake. Last thing about the front office before we transition, Jerry Jones did mention they are getting close to getting Jonathan Hankins, our big nasty nose tackle, re-signed. So, like I said, when Jerry talks, y'all, it's
That'd
kind
be a
of
good.
tongue in
That's a
cheek,
good.
but at least you know something's in momentum. Like he's whether the deal gets done or not, at least they're working on it because I feel like Hankins is a big sign where I
Yeah.
really can sit back and say, all right, I ain't got much else to do, you
You
know.
know what? I don't know if you're scared like I am because we have a lot of people next year that we got to sign. Remember, I think CD Lamb's up for signing next year. Tony
Diggs as
Pollard will
well.
be up for signing next year. Um, Mark Parsons will be in 2 years, I believe. Or
Yeah, but I'm not
yeah,
worried. And the reason why is because the salary cap is going to continue to climb. I mean,
yeah, of
money's
course,
flowing
yeah,
in,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
they'll get the deal done. So I'm not worried about it. But if they're not strategic when it comes to Dak's
That's what I'm
contract,
saying.
then yeah, you definitely can put
Yeah,
yourself or your back against the wall. But
To
I,
me,
exactly.
if I was going to do it, it'd be Diggs and CD Lamb. Try to extend them early so that it won't hit our cap hit even more.
mhm. Yeah.
If you're trying to do it early, because it's going to go up even more if either one of them balls out anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So Amanda asked, why would Hankins wait to sign? I think the only real reason is just kind of leverage, right? You want to kind
Yeah,
of
it
test the
is.
market, see what's out there or not,
Yeah,
you know, and kind of see. But I mean, for nose tackles, I mean, you gave up a 7th round pick for him. I mean, I love Hankins. I really want him in Dallas, but it's not like he's going to get a mega deal. So it's like he's probably just gauging the market, using it for leverage. But I feel like that should be an easy signing, an easy deal the Cowboys can get done. Because if we get that deal done, y'all, we don't have to back into the draft and reach for anything. So I know there's a lot of conversations about defensive tackle, nose
yeah,
tackle. If you go and get Hankins, we're really going into the draft with not a lot of holes that I can think of. Like, if you could say a hole, you're probably reaching a little bit. I know the left guard position, quote unquote, could be a hole, but it's not a
yeah,
big gaping hole that can't be fixed. Because hell, you could plug Terrence Steele at left guard or plug Tyler back at left guard and get right active. So I like where the Cowboys are sitting at this time this year versus last year. Last year, I was like, bro, I don't know what the hell we doing right now. You know what I'm saying? But but this year it feels a lot better. And the one thing I do like is Stephen Jones came out and mentioned that, when it comes to the Dak deal, he didn't try to create a circus about it. He's like, listen, man, it's kind of one of those things you'll wake up and it's done. We're not going to talk too loudly about it, but, we're focused on it. So, that's what I like, man. I'm seeing a change in the culture a little bit. And I'm not sure if it's Mike McCarthy. It might be a combination of Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, where finally the Cowboys are just feeling like football. Now I say that lightly, y'all, because y'all know one interview from my owner can completely blow all this up, right? But it finally feels like the Cowboys are just focused on building a good quality football team and getting back to business. And that's why one thing I was kind of out on the OBJ. I just didn't want the circus, you know. Now,
Yeah.
here's what can create a circus, right? In the second round, the Dallas Cowboys go and draft, a quarterback. Well, then let the circus begin,
Yeah. That's what. That's don't do it, Jerry
yeah,
Jones. Don't do it.
yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, man. So,
But like you were saying, if we go and sign, um, oh my God, I just had a. Who you were just saying? You were just saying if we're going, yeah. If we
sorry, man.
sign him, you're right. When we get to the draft, we don't have to. There's no primary position that we have to fill. We can
Mhm,
play around with it, and that's
mhm.
what's going to be the good thing about this. We can go for a
Exactly.
running back. We can go for a wideout. We can go for a pass rusher. We,
Mhm.
we will have so much variety that we can do, and that would be phenomenal for the Dallas Cowboys.
Good spot to be in. For those who are watching the channel, man, we definitely appreciate it. Click on the link pinned above. You can join on just like my guy Sid, Mike in. We're just chilling on Monday talking football, man. And if you didn't catch the show on Friday, we had a blast, man. I just kind of just turned on the camera. We sat back and watched probably like 13 prospects, draft prospects, and just had a blast, man. So you have to subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell or you're going to miss out. So definitely click on that link above and join on using the Jan app. So I'm gonna ask a question. Amanda asked a question. I'm gonna kick this one over to you, Mike. It says, "Who do you extend first, CD or Diggs or Dak?" It's a good question.
That's an easy question, actually.
Who, who do I extend first?
Which
Yeah.
contract would be your priority to get done first, Dak, CD, or Diggs?
I would do to me. I would do Dak because
Mhm.
the way the money you can and you get more
Yeah,
money on it. Then you can see where your money goes from there.
yeah, I agree. I think so. The priority list, if you're kind of thinking of it from that standpoint, you want to get Dak done because Dak's going to give you a lot more money because you can extend Dak and then Dak can always restructure as well. So you can create some
Yeah.
more cap
CD.
space. Diggs
CD.
will have to be priority over CD because CD has the 5th year option. Diggs doesn't after
Oh,
four
that's
years
right.
you're free agent. So
No.
I would try to get Diggs done and hopefully, knock on wood, the Cowboys don't try to franchise tag, Diggs and this whole thing, situation. So Dak first,
I
Diggs.
hate doing that franchise stuff.
I know I hate the franchise tag option as well because all you're essentially doing is saying, listen, we're just gonna hold you right here for a second. We don't not, and it ties up the money. You got to understand, soon as the player goes and signs his name and accepts that franchise tag, that 12 million, 13 million, whatever, 40 million, it goes off the books right then and there. You can't
Yeah, it's
restructure
just
it. You
complete
can't change it.
guarantee.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of it, but the Cowboys are for some weird reason. And I mean, honestly, I can't think of a franchise tag situation they actually won on. I remember Anthony Spencer. They tagged him like once or twice. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of teams don't even use a franchise tag. I wish the NFL would just get rid of it because it's really unfair to a player. It's just like it's putting you on hold. It's like me saying, you know what, I'm about to buy a car, but it's like I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it, but I'm just gonna give you a deposit. You can't sell this car, and I might come back and buy it next. And it's just like, nah, it's just putting it on hold, man. Let these players roam. Now let's go ahead and get into the
I would
draft. Man. Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying I would like to know what type of number that they try to give Pollard before they
I would.
franchised him.
I
That's
just
just
want.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw an article today, and I'm actually trying to find it right now, where they said that tagging Tony Pollard was a mistake
Mm-hmm. Because the
because
running back market was a lot lower.
exactly,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
exactly, and next year that's gonna open up, and a lot of people are saying they don't see Tony Pollard being able staying with the Dallas Cowboys next year.
Well, yeah, and then
Well,
you have to
most of
think.
your running backs are around it was around 6 mil anyway.
Right. So you got to think of the same situation, like kind of like what happened with Dalton Schultz, right? Because you had Dalton Schultz,
Yeah,
and then he got tagged last year. Then this year he got let go, and his price value actually dropped, where he signed less than when he would have accepted the deal, the initial offer. So looking at the running back market, it's going to be hard to gauge you know, what you should do as far as, Tony Pollard. And that's one thing I've been saying with the whole Bijan conversation. Do we think that do we think Tony Pollard is the running back of the future, or is he just the bridge to kind of get us there?
Get us.
We
Yep.
find our next guy, like kind of Dalton Schultz was to Jake Ferguson and also Hendershot as well. So,
But that's why I was thinking that we might actually go after a running back this draft.
yeah, consider
Right?
it. So let's talk about that, Sid and Mike. So here we are, 26th pick. Let's go into the mindset that we sign Hankins because I feel like they're going to get that deal done. All right.
Yep.
We're sitting there on draft day, pick 26. You have a running back in Bijan available. Let's say you have a few offensive tackles, a few defensive tackles. Let's say Mozzie Smith or or Kalijah Cansey available. What? Hold on. Let me see. We got a special guest. Hold on. Let me see. See, my brother just jumped in here.
Remember, what about Darnell Washington? What about Darnell Washington?
Yo, my big dog. What's going on, bro? Can you hear us?
Let's get it.
Yeah, so we see it. So like, it was smooth, man. We got my brother, man, Rome Cowboys fan, talking the building real quick, man. Y'all definitely know who this is. We tag team champs, man, undefeated.
You already know.
Man.
How y'all doing?
You were Jay. You were saying something, and that is. Sorry, Rome. 2 seconds.
It's all good.
What about Darnell Washington as a tight end?
Yeah, so that's where we're gonna have that conversation about Darnell Washington and like the position. So here's what we're talking about, Rome. So we're in the draft. We re-signed Hankins. So Hankins is, he's already re-signed, right? We're sitting at 26. Instead of player, let's focus on position for right now. That we can kind of filter down the players, right? So Rome, I'll pass it over to you. What position do you think is that void that we need to really fill at the 26th spot in the first round?
Rome, say it. Please say it. Please.
You saying like who I want or who I
no,
think
I'm not saying player specific. I'm just saying right now, what position should we be looking at?
Rome,
position?
Don't play. How you got to think about this one, Rome?
Judging by Jerry Jones' comments today, it's probably left guard.
All right.
Because he's crazy.
Okay, yeah.
Who I would take is Jahmyr Gibbs, but that's me.
Right. You're a huge Gibbs fan.
Why?
Why would I take Gibbs? Because Bijan's going to be gone because of his hype. He's not going to be there. But
you don't think Bijan will still be there?
No. He's got too much of a hype train. Somebody else is going to jump and grab him. And that's fine. Because I like Gibbs more than him anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if it just depends on how the board falls. But I'm team trenches right now because I think that's probably the fiscal thing. If Gibbs is on the board, Avila's on the board, and Mozzie's on the board, they're probably going to take Avila or Mozzie and just keep it moving.
Yeah. And so let me pass this over to you, Mike. Just from a position standpoint, what position would you like to address the most at the 26th spot?
What I would do the most, I would have to say do the offensive line.
Offensive line.
I would have to go that route because we always talking about Dak needs more help.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I would get that line, tip-top shape. I would get a tackle and everything else. In case or a type of hybrid, so you can do guard or tackle.
Yeah.
Avila said, I was watching stuff on him yesterday because he said he would want to come to Dallas. So I had to tap in on him. And he said he's played every position on the line except for left tackle. So he's versatile.
Yeah, he gives you position flex.
And I wish they put Tyron back on the left because to me, it's his blind side.
If he's going to play, you got to play him at left tackle.
Yeah. And so Jerry Jones, and when we first saw, we go to you, Sid, you were kind of smirking at Rome. What is your position you feel like the Cowboys need to address, the most important position?
No, you know what? As Rome said that, I was like, oh man, I completely forgot about the conversation that Jerry Jones had this morning.
I just made a video about it. Jerry drives me nuts.
Yeah, he does. He really does. So yeah, I have to go with Rome on that one. Yeah, we definitely got to address that position because I don't see Steele going to that position. Do you, Rome?
No, see, y'all don't want my take because it's gonna be like.
Go ahead, let it out.
I think Jerry's going crazy, man, for real. His commentary lately don't match up with the movements or what his son is saying.
Right.
It's just like he's just talking. and I can't take him seriously. To call Terrence Steele a depth like a swing tackle
Right.
is crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
He's one of our best young players,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he's a gem. We stumbled onto him. He's an undrafted, and to
Right.
call him first of all, that's disrespectful for him to hear that he's rehabbing right now. And
Right.
you just called him depth. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
here, I'll push back a little on that, and the only reason why, Ron, is because Jerry always has a love for his players, quote unquote, and so since we have Tyler Smith and they believe he's a left tackle, that's his position, right?
I'm fine
They're,
with that confidence.
but they're gonna find a way to have Tyron Smith out there on that field. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, personally,
But look, the easiest thing is to say Tyler Smith. One more year, one more hurrah. If you gonna roll with that, who can
right.
play left guard better than Tyler Smith?
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at too. Like me personally, my offensive line right now, because I was under the impression that Terrence Steele was going to be healthy. We saw the videos with Duke, so he's back rehabbing. He's looking like he's it's going to be ready by camp or so. You go with Tyron at your left tackle, Tyler at your left guard, Tyler at your center, Zach at your right guard, and then Terrence at your right tackle.
Look, if Andrew Whitworth can play left tackle at a high level at his age when he retired,
right.
Tyron Smith could still have. He essentially got a little vacation last year because he did rehab and he didn't get as much.
Yeah.
He wasn't as many car wrecks because he didn't play.
Right.
So he might feel a little rejuvenated, and I trust his veteran prowess. Like I know he know how to play. He's not gonna just get dominated. But to Tuck's point, you just make Tyler Smith to go. Tyler Smith has come out and said, "I'll do anything for this team." It ain't like Tyler Smith's gonna pout.
Right. And it wasn't like that. I mean, even though Tyler Smith, he played well, it wasn't like, oh my God, the offensive line just changed dynamically with Tyler Smith, the left tackle. It was just cool. You know what I'm saying?
I think he'll get there too. Right. He played 1 more year left guard. It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
But
no,
you keep that position
he did
flexibility
decent,
in case Tyron goes down. So I'm saying, like, I do not want to go in the season and see that Terrence Steele is on the sideline holding a clipboard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
crazy to me.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy talk, especially with our run game. So me personally, like I said, I'm keeping that as my best five.
You know what, Tuck? It's almost as crazy as making Zeke run certain plays when he lost a little bit.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the problem, right? So the Cowboys, they always do that for the players they have an affection for, right? Because we saw it kind of with Terrence Steele and Lyle, even though that whole conversation was, Lyle was just the Cowboys guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's been
That's true. Lyle should have been on the bench way before.
But they were substituting, playing Terrence. They were going back and forth, right? And so that was my one thing, even if you mix in Ezekiel Elliott. If you have Zeke on this roster, he's going to get them carries. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just going to get the carries, and he's going to be short-stopping.
He should have been more situational. They forced him a couple times.
Right. Oh, yeah, they did too many times. Not a couple, too many.
So that's the problem. So, yeah, I'm now, here's where I'll pivot a little bit. I'm not at left guard. I'm more at tackle in the first round because I feel like the value to get an offensive tackle in the first round at 26, whether that's a right or
like DeJuan Jones?
Or DeJuan Jones. Like, if you get a tackle in the first round, it makes more sense than drafting a left guard.
If they say, hey, Steele, I'm sorry. If they say, Tyler Smith, you are now a guard because we got DeJuan Jones, I sleep great at night.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the tackle because I'm trying to get Matt Waletzko and Josh Ball the hell up out of town. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? So
I can't have no ball.
Yeah. So I got to get them out of town some way, somehow. Like, even though Matt Waletzko's kind of hurt.
Waletzko's going to be around. I'm down to throw Josh.
Josh Ball got to go. He got to go.
So Thanos you got to throw him over the edge.
Yeah, I got to get Josh Ball up out of there some way, somehow. So I feel like if you get a tackle or a guard, you know what I'm saying, with a position flex, you can kind of get a guy that can put out there, kind of be your second layer. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, that's the fun part, right? Because when we're doing these mocks before we got Brandon Cooks, we was wide receiver. I don't give a damn. Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. So now it's like, all right, wide receiver you can kind of ease up on. Corner you can ease up on. Don't need a safety. Re-sign LVE, so you could consider linebackers, but maybe not that early. We're in a good position. So now we're really going to the draft looking for depth pieces, man. And that's where I like to be. So I'm gonna kick it over back to you, Ron. All right. So you mentioned guard. So Velia, is that your guy you're gonna
Well,
kind of go with?
you know me, Tuck. As I talk, I'm not draft guy.
Right, right, right.
I learn about guys as I hear about them, and then I go do my own research.
I'm like you.
Yeah. And that's just me being honest. I don't want anybody to be misled.
Facts.
But when I get a chance to really look at Avila, you know what I'm saying? He shows that position flex. He can get second level, which is big in the West Coast system. I've been studying this West Coast system really hard to see what it can do. And a lot of short passes, but our running scheme is not going to be, you know how Kellen Moore would run out a lot of pass sets. So a lot of our running downs, our lineman's first step was backwards, which is retarded. So to watch I feel like our run sets, Solari, our new offensive line coach, and Schottenheimer, they like to scheme the run game. We haven't schemed the run game I don't remember last time we schemed the run game. Maybe since Linehan.
Years.
So to scheme the run game, it's going to be good, and to have a guard that can be athletic. Avila's not he's not Jason Kelsey running down the field. Like, he's not like slim and slender like that.
Right.
But Torrance looks like he's just a house.
Right.
He gonna just anchor. You got to get around me. So I don't think Torrance, will be the player. I'm just looking at the fact that if you wanted to force, because we can go BPA, but if you wanted to force any player at 26, if you start saying, well, a lot of the skilled positions won't be there that we really, really want. Like, if Jackson Smith falls to 26, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how many receivers we got.
Right. Yeah, let's grab and go and get up out of the
roof. I'm taking them, But outside of something like, or if Jalen Carter falls there, I don't care what's going on. You got to consider it, because I know if you built your board, he's so high up on it. You're like, did he fall? So that's different. But outside of those situations, if you want to be fiscal, you take the trench player, because Mozzie Smith would 100%. It's like adding a rocket boost to the back of Micah Parsons' back.
Right.
Yeah.
To give him a true young DT that can do Jonathan Hankins things, but he's in his early 20s.
Right.
He'd help the whole defense. That's adding on to LVE.
Right.
And he doesn't do it. He's not a pass rusher. He's literally, he's like what Jeffrey, why everybody's clamoring over Jeffrey Simmons. That's what Mozzie Smith would become.
Right.
A physical hold down two gapper that could just free up linebackers and other pass rushers.
Right.
So
and that's what you really need. When you think of a pick like Mozzie Smith and Siaki out of Baylor, you're looking at essentially
that's how I learn about players.
Yeah, you're looking at offensive linemen for the defense. You know what I'm saying? So someone that can go up there to be a train wreck. You're gonna have to maybe double team, you got the combo block a lot, and it's free up Micah in the A gap, B gap.
What was his name again?
Sam Williams. What's his name? Saki. I forgot his last name. Out of Baylor. He's a big boy.
I'm gonna text you later.
Okay, but wait. Because today I was like you. I'm like you, Rome. I go online and I see who's the Dallas Cowboys looking at, and then I go watch some film on whoever it is. What about this edge rusher, Anthony Carter?
Yeah. You mean
Andre
Carter out of Army?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of light, man. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about Andre Carter. Man. Here's the thing about Andre Carter.
I watched some film on him today. He looked good. He's powerful off the line, man.
Yeah. So actually, we talked about him on the draft show Thursday night because OC is real high on him. He gets the backfield, but how many reps? How many reps you do a 225 on the bench, Sid?
How many reps? 225? 12.
12. So you bench more than him.
No.
That's wild. No disrespect. That's wild.
No.
Yeah, he only did 11 reps at the combine.
I do 12 3 sets, no problem.
Yeah, so he's
that's harsh.
He's super light.
Okay, next.
My guy, Professor O, says Andre Carter. No, I'm out on him. Yeah, I think Andre Carter might be, and there's only a few prospects, honestly, at 26 where I might, have to walk up out of that meeting.
Who's that guy that Dan Quinn was with?
Will McDonald. From
Iowa. Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Will McDonald is nice. I love Will McDonald.
You watched him?
Yeah, he's one of my favorite pet cats, man. So I'll drop his film because we watched him.
Oh, you about to? Okay, I'm gonna wait for that before I get.
He's nice. He fits everything that Dan Quinn likes, but he's an edge rusher. It said Andre Carter got that wee woo wee. Yeah, man. Andre Carter.
Did you say Will McDonald or McDaniel?
Will McDonald out of Iowa State.
That's boss joint. That wee woo wee woo.
Yeah, wee woo wee.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, but I think, like I said, at least he's open for some opportunities. To just to let the board fall to you and do what you do best, man. I feel like the draft season difference from this year to last year, right? Because last year we had to hit on the draft. Like, we were like, all right, we ain't did nothing. We gotta kill it.
We gotta,
or things ain't gonna be the same. But this year, it's like I can damn near auto draft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if the Cowboys did, let's say, take Darnell Washington, you know what I'm saying, tight end. Even though I'm not high on him, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? We got Brandon Cooks, we got Gilmore, we got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really sweating. Like, it's only like 4 to 5 prospects where I'll be like, all right, what we just do? You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we are in a much better situation than we are in last year. And y'all, the Cowboys, they're going to be meeting with my favorite wide receiver in Josh Downs, man. So if they go ahead and get Josh Downs, man, I'm just going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be good, man. So Cowboys.
Hey, look, they got to be. If you bring Cooks onto this team, someone has gotten in someone's ear and let them know we don't have to always go 6'3", 6'2". We could go short and dynamic.
Right.
And look, even if you were considering Odell, so a change in philosophy.
No.
I'm saying a change in height philosophy has to
be.
So Downs is perfect, but old Cowboys weren't even considered it.
Right.
Yeah, it's 100%.
They had the height requirement, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, you can't be this rigid with rules. You know what I'm saying? Because you miss out on great prospects. So someone just asked in the chat, right? It says, let me go back. Let me go here. Yeah, wee woo. It says, how crowded is the wide receiver? Does KJ get bumped out this year by a draft pick? So I think they're talking about corner, actually, for Kelvin Joseph. So do you think that Kelvin Joseph makes the cut? And here's what I'll say, because, like I said, salute to Professor O, Nixon, Spoonie, and them had an incredible interview with Izzy McQuamon just a second ago, and Izzy said that he prefers to play corner over safety, and I was like, all right, well, that's another one, so that's 4. That's 4.
You know what's crazy, Tuck? You ain't gonna believe me, but I feel like Nation ought to be going before Kelvin.
Just because of the draft pick value?
Yes, and you know how the Cowboys get down. I know it don't make sense, but if they're going to get rid of somebody, Izzy's shown too much positivity. If they're going to let somebody go, just because they, the Cowboys are too stubborn, they don't like to look wrong, and they were like, we can turn them. Remember Anthony Brown kind of stuck around for a while before he got his burn?
And so that's another name we haven't heard about, right? It's Anthony Brown. Now, we know he's coming off an Achilles injury, but you got Anthony Brown. You also have Jordan Lewis. So you're looking at Diggs, Bland, Gilmore.
Yep.
Let's just say Lewis, right? That's 4. You're more than likely they're going to draft a corner in this year's class, if not 1 or 2. So that's 5.
And they'll lie to you about Joseph. They'll be like, well, he's becoming our second type Goodwin type player.
You think so?
But they also got Goodwin, though. So
I'm surprised they kept Goodwin. You're right.
But they kept CJ, you know what I'm saying, just from the special teams aspect. So he has to count from that corner slot. How many corners he about to keep?
Well, maybe they can lie to themselves and say Izzy's a hybrid. He does both, so he's technically a safety.
Well, then you have what? So if you do Izzy as a safety, that's what, 4 safeties?
4,
4 safeties?
5, because they going to keep Bell stashed on the practice squad?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't lose Marquise Bell. You better not.
Yeah, you can't lose Marquise Bell. So the Cowboys got some interest. So like I said, like the fact that they're still young, there's still a lot of young guys in the clip.
Can I make a point, Doug?
Yeah, go ahead.
2 things. One, last year we were expecting a lot of cuts, and we didn't because we needed all those players. This year, this is why I ain't been freaking out about us making super big splashes in free agency.
Right.
Our team kind of stacked.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple, like when we start discussing position battles,
right?
There's certain names like you guys are alluding to that really might want to watch their back because their room looking a little full.
Right.
Yes.
Look, I hate to say it. Simi might want to watch his back.
Right.
He might not make it. Neville Gallimore might not be back.
Right.
You can't get rid of Gallimore, man. That's my yo. Don't
I'm not saying
don't.
get rid of Gallimore, but he got to play better.
Yeah. Yes.
It's squeeze out time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
squeeze out. Yeah.
Our roster's too good.
Yeah.
I hate to.
I mean, you
I got
also
to
can toss
peace
it.
out, guys.
All right,
sorry.
man.
All right, man.
Yeah.
You good, man?
Thank you for letting me come on, and
All right, man.
I'll keep following y'all.
I
Happy
appreciate
All right,
it.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
Peace out.
And like I said, y'all in the chat, man, we have the link pinned above. Feel free to click the JJAANN app, download it, jump on.
Is O in the chat? Tell O to jump on.
Yeah, hit the link, man. Let's see, I see you, man. You know, Obi growing.
O got an IPA right now.
You know what I'm saying? Obi growing sharks and all sort. You know, he got a Shark Tank for real.
Man, Rome, you're like in the bottom corner of my screen. I want to try and move you up, and I can't.
Look, man, I just jumped in. I don't even know how to do that.
I'm gonna try. Let me see if I can do this.
Y'all want me to jump out, jump back in?
No, I'm gonna boot you out and see if I can bring him back in.
Yeah, because he's like at the bottom. You saw that, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Let's get you leveled, man.
Yeah, I learned how to press some of these buttons on this JJAANN app, man. You know what I'm saying? You give me a little mental workout. So yeah, man, I feel like there's gonna be. He says I'm trying to get these kids to bed, man.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm sure he's trying to.
Yeah. I'm glad them days is over, man.
I was Jay. I was just about to say that, man. My kids live on their own.
Y'all gonna have to pray for your boy JTuck, man, because this Saturday they got prom, and just
Oh, poor you, bro.
I ain't ready for them days.
Yeah, Yo, do you need me to come? We can do that scene like in the movie there with 50 Cent. No, not the bad boy, with 50 Cent, where all the big boys are in the garage waiting for him. You know?
Yeah, man. When they pull up, it's gonna have the garage open.
I'm daddy daughter dance level. I ain't there yet.
Oh yeah. Man.
Oh yeah. Poor you. Yo, oh man, I don't know what I would do if I was you, Jay.
Yeah,
it's okay, man. Take it in stride, man. Enjoy yourself.
Bitch pressing in the front yard. Oh, y'all about to have a good evening, right?
Yeah. Yo, put a tracker on that car.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of rooms that's gonna get squeezed out. I think the most
corners one of those rooms. You right.
Corners are open. I feel like defensive line, especially the interior, is gonna get squeezed out.
Hey, they better push Josh Ball out too. They better get some competition.
We gotta get Josh Ball out here.
Tight end.
Ball out there.
You think tight end's gonna be a squeeze?
No, we got 3 definites, and we'll see if we draft somebody. But McEwen and Hendershot and Ferguson ain't going nowhere.
Oh no! Those guys, my rodeo dudes, man.
Yeah.
Those guys ain't going nowhere, man.
He's got a baby coming in 3 days. Dad, Mo. Oh yeah, man. You better go to sleep right now. Oh, we got Professor O, man. He
got another one on the way. Congrats.
He's got another one on the way.
Yeah,
man. Keep it.
You better get all.
You better go get that snip, my guy. Get that snip. Damn.
It says my baby girl just turned 10. Yeah, enjoy. It goes by fast, man.
Yeah, fast, man.
Because my 12-year-old,
so Cleo just mentioned this. Would you guys consider trading Dorrance Armstrong?
Oh,
for the right conversation, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not that the reason why you can consider trading him is because he got to be looked at around the league as a decent pass rusher.
Right. He was good last year, man. He made a few plays.
There was on special teams as well. There was a point his stock was really rising right before the trade deadline. They probably should have let's get him on out, because I feel like you got to get Sam Williams more reps this year.
Tuck, say you trade him, what you think you can get for him? You think he worth a second?
That's what I was about to say. I would say not more than a second.
You can probably get a 4 or so.
You think 4?
I'm trying to think. When you think McDonald gonna go?
McDonald probably be second round. If lucky, he'd be second round.
So if you can get an extra 3rd pick or 4th pick, would you trade? You take McDonald. I do want another pass rush, but I'm saying you'd be willing to take somebody like a McDonald in the 2nd round because you'd be building, you'd be replacing what you lost in depth.
Right.
With Armstrong, and then you would pick up another pick, and you could probably go get somebody else later.
Yeah. I mean,
that makes sense.
Because you also got on the edge, you got Sam Williams, you got Dante Fowler, who you just signed. You got Tack McKinney, you got Chauncey Golston, who's kind of your 3 tech, but he's outside as well. You got D-Law, and then you also got Micah Parsons. So I mean, you could possibly move on from Dorrance Armstrong if you're able to get the compensation back. Because the last thing I want is another growth stopper where you have Dorrance Armstrong in the way, preventing the reps from Sam Williams. Because Sam Williams needs a lot more reps than he got last year. So that's where I'm at. I would consider it, but I know that 17 games. Dan Quinn likes to toss a lot of wood in the fire, keep those guys on rotation. So maybe that's kind of value of Dorrance
But there's some
Armstrong.
teams out there that their pass rush is so meager.
Right,
They got to consider it. It's some
right,
teams that they just. I'm trying to think like who you really got pass rushing. You
right.
know, like because I'm sitting here thinking right now. I know we just traded with the Colts. Who they got? I know they had Ngakwe, but who they got with youth?
Yeah, they're kind of yeah. I'm trying to think of the Colts. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's a team out there, man, that'll probably give you a little bit of
I
value. I
don't
think
know
it's something like that.
who pass rushing for the Falcons. Like it's some teams that might be able to want to pick up a decent pass rusher. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, my guy O said I would draft McDonald 26. He's good enough. Yeah, I would not be
Bro,
upset.
that's I heard watching them talking about that, and I was like, "Am I just lost? Why haven't I heard about this dude?" That's why.
Oh yeah,
Me
I
too.
mean,
I'm like,
I'll
I
chop him up. I'll drop him. I'll drop him tomorrow. I got him cut sitting right here. Saying I can drop him. Man.
I'll make my video or like my delineation
Oh
after
yeah,
you drop. I'm gonna watch your joint.
yeah. I'll
because
drop
I'm
him.
about to watch his highlights now. I see at least
I
some good
saw the
highlights
Quinn
on him.
look just like Sam Williams. I said, Quinn got somebody else he like."
Yeah, and so that's what I said. I said it on Twitter. I was like, when I saw Dan Quinn out there, where I'm like, oh, his heart's melting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, McDonald, full tool set, man.
Do you think he'll make it to it? Because last year they saw him do that with Sam Williams, and everybody ignored it, and we took him.
No, see, the only thing that happened with Sam Williams, a lot of people don't understand. Sam Williams had off the field issues. Like Sam
Now I
Williams,
remember.
yeah, so that's why he slid just slightly. I don't think that's going to happen with McDonald. One guy who could possibly slide would be my guy Felix Anundike out of Kansas State, who I dropped film on. He kind of is a high motor guy, a powerful guy, power rusher, speed guy. Fits that Dan Quinn mold. He could possibly be there at 58. But here's the thing, y'all. The draft is going to be so chaotic because all it's going to take
Yeah.
is one reach and the whole thing is just going to unravel.
Yeah, because all these players, it's one of the rare drafts from what I've seen. Like after like the top 10, let's just use that as a nice solid number.
Right.
All these players can go anywhere from back half of the first all the way through the third. Like it's so weird.
Right.
So I got a question for you real quick. I got a theory for you, Tuck. But if you was about to make a point, I don't want to.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna make a video on this soon. But I really feel like the Cowboys would consider a McDonald and maybe hang on to Dorrance because I think that Mike is going to fall back to playing more linebacker this year than he did last year. This is a theory of mine. I'm not saying that on specific downs they're not going to let him wreak havoc. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that I think they really missed the fact that it became real predictable on how to stop him.
Right.
So if you're going to move him around like a true chess piece, you do want legitimate depth at edge rusher. Mm-hmm. And that would him moving back would automatically beef up the linebacking room, which is why they're not pressed about chasing Bobby Wagner because that kind of defeats the purpose. You got LVE. You go get it. You get another youthful linebacker in the draft, but you're not going to chase one early. Right. So your linebacker room is LVE, Micah Parsons, and Damone Clark. Mm-hmm. Right. You add one more piece in the draft from depth, but you do take a McDonald, and now you got a true rotation of D. Law, Sam Williams, Dorrance Armstrong, McDonald. Then you got those little filler pieces like Fowler and stuff like that. Because you plan on, because I think they not only do they want to stop being predictable, that D line really wore Micah down.
Right, and it's a lot. It's a difference, right? Because I play linebacker. It's a difference between playing out in space, maybe blitzing on occasion, versus getting hit and double teamed and ran at. Like it wears you down. And though Micah's a big kid, that's just not his frame yet. You know what I'm saying? He had to grow into that. So it's just like that's really just not his strongest point every down. And I feel like last year we really overused it. We were just like,
lazy with it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, bro, like you need some breaks. You know what I'm saying? Especially after that Philly game, once they kind of figure out how to slow him down, make him think a little bit out in space and counter off of it, like they really need to go back on the left side, A gap, B gap, you know what I'm saying, right side. Like,
because look at fresh Micah, bro. Look at Micah the Tampa game.
Right.
The first one.
Yeah.
When he was fresh,
he was disruptive.
Like unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But with Michael Parsons, I think the problem with him too is he's the type of player that they call him off, and he doesn't want to come off. He wants to stay.
Lion, man. Lion's always hungry.
He got to realize he's so important that he can't always
exactly,
play every snap.
exactly. Right. He gets mad when he's not out there, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
If you can't get him off the field, then you like Tuck is saying, you get him some other breaks by like, hey man, maybe not every play you in a car wreck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be back more. Yeah.
You can drop in zone for a little bit.
Exactly. Drop in zone. Yeah. And he'll still get it. He still gets to the ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like Micah Parsons can really play any position on the
field.
Man.
He
want to play
That's
Micah
scary too.
He could probably easily be the best safety on our team. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to use him as a safety.
Could you imagine? He beat Sean Taylor.
That's why and so it was funny because when the draft happened with 2021, LeVar Arrington made that comp, and I made the same comp. Like he feels very Sean Taylor-ish.
For real?
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You out your? I was like, listen, man. Like
that's how Sean Taylor looked, though. You're right.
I was a huge Sean Taylor fan, and even though he went to Miami, which I hate all things Miami. He went to Washington, right? I supposed to hate everything. Like Sean Taylor was a pure football player. We could play safety, corner, linebacker. Like just put him on the field and just tell him go do something. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the only thing Mike and them probably can't do is just play. You can't two gap at one tech or something like that.
Right.
I have a question out of left field for you guys.
All right.
Is Micah Parsons making the top 100 this year? And where do you think he'll be?
Micah Parsons will be top. He was already top 10 last year, wasn't
he? Yeah. I think it was like top 10.
Yeah. Where's he falling this year?
I think Micah would have inched out of pure respect for the league. He might get, because this is voted on by the peers.
Yeah, exactly.
If he get voted top 10, I don't know if because he tapered off, he might not get voted top 5. But
Micah, I don't think he tapered off. I think they figured out. They figured him out.
Cowboys fans, we know what happened. I'm talking about the perception.
Right. It's perceptive. 100%.
Clearly, look at the numbers, right? Now, I'll say this with Micah Parsons. I can say he's probably the first Cowboys player that's universally loved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got.
Nobody hates Zach Martin.
But people don't talk about Zach Martin. You know what I'm saying?
It's the position.
Like when I wear like Micah Parsons jersey, like around in Kansas, everyone's like, "Yo, bro, I love Micah. I love." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you normally don't get that with Cowboys players. You know what I'm saying? But like Micah is just universally loved, which is also scary for the Cowboys because they don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody loves Micah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he'll probably be top 5, top 12. I don't know. You know,
it'll be look like this. Last year, I forgot his number, but let's just say last year he was 8.
Yeah, 8 to 12 range.
This year he'll be 6. If he ain't top 5, he's gonna be right there.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if he had got like 3 more sacks, like if he had what's my man's name? Hassan Reddick numbers.
Right.
He would have won Defensive Player of the Year, and then because know what they wanted him to do. If Micah would have closed the deal last year, he would have became what they treat Aaron Donald as. Right. They'd have been calling him the best defender on the planet.
Right. Yeah.
And he was on that way. And then
like I said, they just did too much. Like 17 games. Like you know.
And he got didn't he like get bit by his dog or something like that?
Yeah, it was something. It was something like that with his hand, right?
So that threw him off too for like a good month.
Oh yeah, he had his hand in. You're right. He definitely did. He definitely. But as you were saying, this guy's international. In Canada, man, I'm telling you, it's true. Everybody loves Micah Parsons. Some of my boys are Eagles fans. They're like, "Yo, I wish we would have got Micah Parsons, man." I'm like, "Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen." And again, I will say, I remember that year. Huh?
Who's the top quarterback from that draft?
Right this year?
For the Micah Parsons, it was Trevor Lawrence. It was
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
All right.
That was the year that all y'all.
He wouldn't have went over him, but he'd win second.
I'm trying to remember that draft class, right? So it was Trevor Lawrence.
Trey Lance is trash.
Yeah, so
trash.
Micah Parsons would easily, if you redid it, he would probably be the second pick off.
Second. You're not gonna take him over Trevor Lawrence. He actually was balling last year, so you're not gonna take him over.
I forget. It's crazy all these draft classes.
But I remember that year, everybody wanted. Everybody was on the Kyle Pitts train. I wasn't. I was on the Micah Parsons train. Go look at my draft. Go look at my draft talk. I wanted Parsons. I
mean, but here we are.
Look, Tuck said he was on Parsons first.
No, hold on, Sid.
No, he was.
Hold on, Sid.
Oh, okay.
You talk about drafting a Darnell Washington. So here you are,
Oh.
2 years ago, not it. You know what I'm
saying? I'm not throwing you under the bus. I remember you were on the Michael Parsons. You were like, I'm not gonna hate if we go for Michael Parsons. But remember, nobody wanted Michael Parsons because of that problem he had. Right? And he took that year off. And I was like, no, I didn't. No, I went to watch film again. I went and watched film like I am now late. I always watch.
But I was like, this. I looked at Michael Parsons like Bobby Wagner. I did not look at Michael Parsons like Von Miller, and that was my fault.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. When a lot of people looked at Micah Parsons, they were just looking at him as a linebacker. And like I had a conversation with Kavanaugh on Twitter. Yeah. I was like, bro, when his film, like he was just a game wrecker. Because people like he played running back. He was recruited to Penn State as a running back. You know what I'm saying? So they just switched his position. So people understand, like, this kid was just a raw football player who really didn't know the linebacker position, but he was just getting after it.
Understood. You know what I'm saying? Understood.
And so here's what I've been trying to tell Cowboys fans, right? We heard Jerry talk today, but remember the whole Micah Parsons draft. He said, you know what? We really don't want favor opt-out guys, and we want guys who have football lineage, whose father played. Like, so you got to, like, hear what Jerry say, but don't listen to what Jerry say. You know what I'm saying?
He'd be lying.
Yeah, he'd be lying.
Yeah.
Snake oil salesman, man. He just, he'll.
Because you know what? We mess around. He doing all this talking. They'll go take. Because last year, put it like this, you're right. Last year, everything was pointing to everything else. I did not see Tyler Smith.
Me neither.
Especially who was there, because you know I was Team Pickens, even though they was not taking Pickens. But I was thinking anything else. But when they went left tackle, they went guard. I was like,
yeah, it caught me off guard because like, and I even said, y'all see the tweet every Thursday. I said replace Tyron Smith with Tyler Smith, left tackle from Tulsa is on my pet cat list, right? But I didn't see that. I got blindsided. I was sitting in the draft room because I was on the live. I was like, wait, because I had like a second round grade on Tyler Smith, but kind of hearing that there was other teams who were going to snatch him, and they didn't think he's going to get to 54 wherever he was last year. I understood it, but just the whole shock of Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, because the names wasn't connecting Tyler Smith to the Cowboys until hell, I think like the day before the draft. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's like, you know,
can we just give them? I give them a lot of crap.
Who?
You know, Jerry do be stirring the pot, man.
We'll get him a lot of crap, but I gotta give him some credit, man. That whole draft wasn't perfect, but to come out of that draft with these players, to come out of there with Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, Jake Ferguson, Deron Bland, and Damone Clark, he still has upside. I think he's gonna be okay.
Right.
Yo, that's kind of crazy.
If you look at it, and it's hard to do this because I had a conversation with somebody, I forgot who. If you look at last year's class and you compare it to the Micah class and you just take out the Micah aspect, this last year's draft class was drastically better than the year prior.
Okay.
Hey, Tuck, can I challenge you on your old take? I think this class is better than the Eagles class.
Nah, I still got the Eagles.
You still got it. I
don't know. Now, here's the thing: our players got a lot more opportunity than theirs did.
So Jurgens hasn't played. Dean hasn't played. Hey, Jordan Davis ain't having a better first year than Tyler Smith though.
That's what I'm saying. So like they didn't get an opportunity. Like I feel like, and that's the thing. Here's what I'll say, Cowboys Nation: we are kind of sitting in the same situation where the Eagles sat last year. You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't have to really press, you know what I'm saying? Because they already had depth pieces. A lot of their draft classes were for the future. Like even Kyron Johnson barely got, like this is like just for future reps. Like, so we didn't have the instant impact. So I feel like we're in the same spot where
right now.
And we might be looking, might not even see them play until week 5.
Not going wood outside of an injury. Not going wood.
Right.
Why you gotta say it? Why you gotta say it though, Rome?
I'm just saying, but that's the only reason somebody would play.
I guess, I guess
Professor I really look
factor in AJ Brown's that draft class too.
If it ain't, you take like we'll probably take Hendon Hooker if he's there. Although his stock look like it's rising. My point, or Max Duggan or something like that. We're gonna take a quarterback. They ain't playing. We're gonna take a running back, and unless it's a hot running back, he's not gonna take Tony Pollard snaps unless it's Bijan or
no
or Gibbs. You take Bijan or Gibbs, Tony Pollard snap's gonna get weird.
Right, it's gonna be real weird. It better
But
get weird. It better get weird.
but if look, all this talk about all this strategy, let's just say teams stick to their guns and don't think about drafting a running back and Bijan's on the board. I won't feel bad if they walk up there because, as Tuck has been saying, we go get Hankins. That's another spot solidified. And I'm really like, okay. Right. You can run that line I was just talking about with Tyler Smith at guard, and you draft Bijan Robinson, I am sleeping great.
I want Bijan. I'd like to get if Bijan's still there, I'd like for them to go Bijan.
I will take Gibbs at 26.
They better not let the Cowboys get Bijan, bro. Like,
yo, they
no. They won't allow it, bro. I just don't see it.
That's why out of pure hate, somebody will draft him.
Yes.
It'd be like the Ravens or somebody like, nah, we got it. You know what I'm saying? Because
look, I'll take Gibbs and Phil Chest is happy.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, the difference between Gibbs and Bijan is what I've been saying. The players are there. Like, it's not that much separation as far as the players. But the shot in the arm that Bijan's going to give any team, but if it gave it to we just lost Zeke. You know what I'm saying? So if you replace Zeke and you get Bijan Robinson
it's
from the University of Texas, like them jerseys going to be flying.
Look, you right back, bro. Like you never left.
right, like you never left, bro. Them jerseys are going to be flying off the shelves.
Only person that's going to be mad at that pick in the whole world is number 20.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He won't say it.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think he'd be as worried because he knows next year.
Not worried, just hey dog. Now look, it might be his career because Tony ain't that old.
Right. No, he's not.
Right.
And if Tony was on the market right now, he would have got a contract. Let's not trip.
Yeah, they said watch the Eagles draft Bijan. I've been saying like if I was
yeah.
I mean,
look, if they take him at 10, I would take Gibbs first of all because Gibbs can run routes like for real. Now it might be stacking the same type player, but if you got Gibbs and Tony Pollard, that's lightning.
But like I said, I would probably be. I don't know. I wonder is there a bet, but I would probably bet that the leading rusher out of this year's class will not be the first.
One of those two.
Yeah. Because it's so deep, bro. Like I feel like you can mess around and get Keandre Miller in the right system, and he's just going crazy. Like that's
probably what we'll get though, Tuck. We'll get where do you think he'll go?
Keandre, day 2, second, third roundish.
That's my point. We'll probably get a running back third round.
Right.
I
would say third.
Are you saying third round if BJ's gone?
No, I'm just saying. Let's just say they're gone. We'll probably pass on Gibbs, take somebody else.
Okay.
I'll get over it. And then because we have Tony Pollard, we'll probably take a great back as his complement in the third round. And I can see that.
Right. Yeah. I feel like the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys in the first 3 picks will go running back. I feel like they will.
Because let me not downplay. Let's not trip. If Tony Pollard's healthy, let's not act like he don't get busy.
Right. But
is it okay? Let's talk about that for a minute. He had a break. A break is a lot easier, a lot better to heal than any tear, right? Mm-hmm. So there should be no reason for him to come back 100% come training camp.
But here's the caveat, Sid. He's on a franchise tag as a running back.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's a lot of pressure. Yeah. You would be going to this season if you don't get good insurance.
Right.
Remember he had plantar fasciitis, I think, the year before.
Right.
Yeah.
And this year, although it was his last game, he got hurt again. That's 2 years twice. 2 years in a row. The running backs more. So if we get hurt again, let's say we don't insulate ourselves like we did with receiver. Mm-hmm. God forbid, but if you get hurt again, week 2, you can't be like, all right, Malik Davis season, no hate to him.
Right.
But you got to have more insurance.
More insurance.
Okay, but we went through this.
Did Dalton Schultz this year feel like the Dalton Schultz of the year prior? He didn't. It felt like it was a different Dalton Schultz. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like you got that dark cloud. You're thinking about contracts. You really can't get hurt because if you get hurt, your value really diminishes.
Hey, man, Schultz played through some injuries this year, didn't he? He got hurt like a half a day. Came right back.
Yeah, because he knew, like, all right, bro, I got to get out here, but it's just the thought process.
He saw Ferguson hop over somebody?
Yeah, he's like,
yeah, I know. Yeah. But you know what? Let's talk about that for a minute because we went through that whole talk when they franchise tagged Dak Prescott. we're all like, is he going to come out and play at 100%? Is he going to be worried about getting injury? And then if he doesn't, his value is going to go down. That's the same thing with Pollard. Pollard's got to come out and dog. He's got to come out and play.
That's a different animal, bro. Like,
yeah, I understand, but
look.
He's still got to come out and play. He's still got to come out.
When he snapped that ankle on that franchise tag, I didn't know what was gonna happen,
bro.
Bro, we all did it.
Man.
I cried. I'll admit it. I cried.
I almost cried on cam, bro. I was so pissed at this franchise for that.
I got a video. I gotta go watch it. I didn't cry. But
I cried, bro.
A broken spirit. That next video was like, hey man.
Yeah, but I lost a few subscribers that day, bro. I didn't want to hear
it. 2 weeks later, I was lying to myself. I was like, man, Andy Dalton is all right.
Yeah, we got it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna bounce back. You know,
we gonna bounce. No, but let's
Dak wrong in that chat, bro. You was out of here. Like,
Oh yeah, I would have been blocked.
I was like, I'll admit it. I was like, our season's done. Like, yo.
I mean, it was though. I mean,
yeah, it was. But back to Tony Pollard.
We had some good moments. I ain't look Andy Dalton versus the Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was some good moments in the season.
There was.
But didn't Jalen Hurts play that game? Oh, no, he skipped past.
Oh yeah, we dropped another. We dropped 40 on them real quick. So that was good.
That was good.
Skip past that season, right?
But
we always seem to drop 40 on them, even though we bad. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, it's whole crazy.
But back to Pollard.
Obviously, Tony.
But definitely back to Pollard. He's got to come out and play. He's got to, especially if next year if he's going to be looking for a contract.
Right.
I think he'll be fine though. Pollard. I know he will be electric and be able to ball and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I just want us to respect. It's like last year. We disrespected really shoring up receiver, and it was too late. Right. Ronald Jones, although I feel like he'd be a good 3 and rotational back, is not the insurance we need.
Right.
We need legitimate. And Tuck, I'm going to get with you about the backs that we could get third round and back. Because you think, what's his name? What is it?
Javon A-Chain? Yeah.
You think that
he's second round.
Second round? So
that's the hard part, bro. Like, you might have Bijan, and then you might have Gibbs, and it's going to be a cluster. And as soon as one pulls, this is going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're all going to get
rid. And there are other teams banking on the draft for running back, too. We can't think
of that. So that's the hard part.
Yeah, there definitely is, right?
You got to catch that wave. Kind of like
you think the Cowboys would do something like trade up for Bijan? You think they're crazy?
I think so. I think they would. Because I feel like Bijan in this year's class is the biggest hype machine available. You know what I'm saying?
How far?
If he gets in 20 range,
the early 20s.
So if he got to 19, 20, they would consider it.
And we'll get hated on Cowboys value running back too much. I don't care.
I'll be honest. You know, it's funny because I was talking to Philly Notion.
Here's what people don't understand with that, bro. Zeke was different. That was the number 4 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Like, we're at 26, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but to give that shot in the arm that was
right.
It's like when you're proactive in free agency. I don't care what no one says. The tip of the go get Gilmore, go get Cooks, it does something to your team.
Yeah.
Right? When you sit back on your laurels and be like, you let Randy Gregory and all the players get out, however they left, right? And you're like, I'm gonna stand pat and just draft. The team is excited,
right?
But it's different when in March you're like, I'm shoring up that hole.
Man.
I'm bringing back Dono. It's a tip from that front office. Like, no, we believe we can do something this year.
Right.
So you add Bijan to that mix, you right, Tuck. It's like, we're going for it.
Yeah, that's when you just like, all right, that's the mic drop right there.
Drop the mic, yeah.
They for real. You know what I'm saying?
And you can almost do anything else in the draft.
You can auto draft after that, man. We up out of there. Listen, like, you know what I'm saying?
It was like the Cowboys took a punter, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we good, man. We good, man. But, hey, my guys, man, I appreciate you for joining. You know, we can rock all night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can, man.
Hour over, man.
You gotta shut me down. I had you here, man.
Like I said, man, me and Rome, we be having like the best live shows on the phone, man. We probably talked for I was off Friday before I came live. We probably talked for like 6 hours or something like that.
I'll be surprised, man. We be talking,
man. That's what it's all about, man. Guys, sit, man. Let everybody know they can find you.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm making my comeback this year. Gonna have these 2 guys on the show. I was supposed to do something with them tomorrow night, but unfortunately, I had a clinic that I gotta go to for reffing. Unfortunately. But we'll definitely chop it up again soon. Go look for me on my channel. Big things to come. Dallas Cowboys, the #4 life, man. Guys, these guys are the real deal. Definitely keep checking these guys out. I love these guys, man. And I'm looking forward to meeting them face to face this year, guys. Oh, Rome, my 50th. Turning 50 this year in November. I'm going to Dallas, man. I hope you're coming.
Yo, let me know.
When is it?
As long as it ain't near
November. My birthday is November 14th. So I'm waiting for the schedule to come out to see which game's gonna be more interesting to go to. My birthday's in between weekends, right? So I want to see what's going on. But I'm definitely making it out to Dallas this year.
I told Tuck I'm gonna try to get down there too. Stop playing.
Yo, it'd be good for us to go November, man. My 50th. Let's make it happen, man.
And hit them streets because Tuck been, I got to get out there and stop.
Yeah. Tuck's famous in Dallas, man. Tuck's famous in Dallas.
I don't know if I can sit in his seats though. His seats
it's all the same though. You know what I'm saying? Like we be out there partying, bro. Like
I'm gonna tell Tuck, yo, I'm in the standing room. I'm gonna meet you.
Yeah, me and Rome will be up there. We'll be waving at Jay.
I tell people I've had more fun in the standing room than I do where I have my actual seats at. Like because the standing room is like where the real heartbeat of the fan base is. You know what I'm saying?
Probably where I'm gonna be at.
Crazy. Like y'all, I mean, y'all seen the video or the photos, bro. Like I'll be the only person standing up. You know what I'm saying? So in the standing room, bro, you be intense, you fired up, you high-fiving, spilling drinks all over each other. It's just
say less. I'm gonna be right in the standing room.
Yo, let's make it happen, man. Let's be up in that room, fellas. Yeah, man, be a good time, man.
Yeah, my guy Rome, man. Let them know where they can find you.
It's your boy, Mr. Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk on YouTube, Cowboys_Fan Talk on Twitter. One day I'm gonna get back on IG. I'm sorry, but I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks, Tuck. I'm sorry I was a little bit late.
You good, man.
A bunch of things at once, but we can chop it up for hours. So look forward to doing something again real soon.
Yeah, man, that's the power of the JAANN app. Like you said, you can jump in, jump out, man. We just have fun. Like before, hey, man, you late. Yeah, you ain't gonna make it because I'm not gonna redock this whole show up, man. But it makes it so
one last request. So if I come to Dallas, we definitely got to hit that gym, fellas. We got to hit that gym, man. We got to hit that gym.
Sid, so whenever someone brings up Andre Carter's like, man, Sid bench more than him, man. 11 reps. Ain't you in the army, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like,
I'm no longer watching film on him, man. I'm done. He's washed up.
Yeah, because we had the show Thursday night, and talking about Andre Carter. It's like, well, let me go back and watch. Maybe I missed something. I was probably like 35 minutes in. I watched this game versus Wake Forest, and I was just like, nah. I was like, I'm out. But I mean, he gets pressure, but just not my type of prospect.
Well, I'm definitely gonna check out Will McDonald. I have the film. I'm right here. I'm gonna click play the minute we're out, man. I'm definitely gonna come.
Dropping them all.
I'll cut Will McDonald for y'all. I've been I haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I appreciate everyone, man, for tuning in. Everyone in the chat, man. I appreciate the support. Everyone who jumped on the live show. Like I said, every Monday at 7 p.m. we'll do our shows for the roundtable. It's just free falling, man. We're just freestyling, having fun on the JAANN app. So definitely click that link, download. It's a fun experience, man. There's a whole games and all sorts of stuff we can do. I ain't figured it out yet, but we'll get there. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. I appreciate everyone subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell. CFOsportstalk.com. Get the merch. I'm going to put the hats out probably this Friday because I know a lot of people are asking about the hats. Put the hats out there this Friday. And, yeah, man, we're going to continue rocking, continue to do a lot of draft content. Got the Thursday night show with the Final Word fam, so definitely tune into that. And then we're going to start maybe Fridays, maybe Saturdays, depending on my schedule, doing it where we go live. And we're going to sit back and just watch film as a family, watch like 8 to 10 prospects and just chop it up, man, and have a good time because we did that Friday, man, had a blast. And so it gives you a good opportunity. It's got a lot of prospects because we are a month away from the draft here in Kansas City, man. So I'm getting excited. So it's definitely gonna be a fun time. So you want to lock
guys, a month away from draft, 5 months away from preseason. Let's get it. Let's get it.
It just never. I feel like as a content creator, it just never ends,
man.
It
doesn't, man. It's like
I just got back from San Francisco. It's like here we are. Yeah, my guy Osa got a Josh Downs shirts, man. I got Josh Downs waiting, man. We better not draft Josh Downs. He'll kick me out that media room. Like, well, back here. Be like, dancing on tables.
No, JTuck be like, no, you didn't. Let me get in that room.
I'm gonna be ready, man. But yeah, man, appreciate all the support, man. Keep rocking. Got videos, draft videos. Follow my brothers up, man, and Y'all know how we do, man. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged.
Yep.
Cowboys. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.